So hello everyone, my name is Enzo. Before we get started, I just want to ask like you guys, how many of you guys have had recent contact with AI, be that in the past 5 days, past week? So if you could please raise your hand. Well, that's actually a lot of people. But anyways, um, it's more. I can assure you that it's more than you expect. And the thing about AI currently is that there's this big misconception, especially nowadays with social media. Lack of proper research or publication about it. When we're trying to understand concept like this, we're just fired in a bunch of different directions, and it's kind of hard to get a proper conclusion on it. And the point of this talk is not to get too technical on the coding aspect of AI and language models. I'm trying to share my experience with AI. Can hopefully shed some light on what it is and how it's going to change your lives. Wait. So what is the dictionary definition of AI? As you can see up here, the capability of computer systems or algorithms to imitate intelligent human behavior. Now, to give more, well, it sums it up well, to give more context on how it processes and imitates our thinking process, it obviously starts with an input. And like us, it will try to process information, make a judgment, prediction, an analysis, and generate an output. Nowadays, with models like ChatGPT and the chatbots we see today, they can create images, videos, full-blown text, or whatsoever. And one of the main misconceptions I hear of AI nowadays is this comparison with robots and how they can take their own form and take over. And this is not true because obviously they require constant human input, and they're not originally intended for this. They're sort of an approximation of the human intelligence process, so they're not at capability to take their own form and just develop without our input. This guy back here is the most famous chat model we have today, ChatGPT. We also have the likes of Perplexity, Gemini, or even Microsoft's Copilot. But the truth is, AI is a much more mature concept, which you guys will see. For example, if you reach in your pocket your phone, Siri, its voice recognition software is actually based on AI. When you ask it something, it's trying to make a prediction on how we would respond to ourselves, basically. But even before that, AI chess opponents or video game opponents, this is all proper AI technology. If you make a move on a board, it's gonna want to try and beat us, like as if a human is thinking in the process. And I guess one of the main questions that emerges with AI is, what effect is it going to have? And obviously, it's going to be big. And I guess to explain why I think like this, I'm going to talk about a personal story I had in the workplace with AI. So last summer, I entered in the Brazilian financial sector. Obviously, going into the financial sector, you go in that office environment, you're expecting the high hours, the high stress. You walk, you look around, you see the plethora of graphs, numbers, Excel sheets, client calls, etc. And you don't really see a way to offload that. As I was going into conference calls, I look up in that tab, that's ChatGPT, came to realization, they use AI the same way we use it in school. And this really showed me the true impact of AI. Because as it's not at a stage where it can fully replace your work, it can definitely supplement your workload. And obviously it's not a full-blown financial analysis, as I said. It does it supplements your workload, and brings us to like a more global connection. How does it affect our economy? We should use an example because we should use it to supplement us. And what I concluded from it is that it's a big increase in productivity. And when you have a big increase in productivity, it's hard to quantify the true effect of it without actually living through it. For example, if you take, for instance, the Industrial Revolution, we don't really know how bad or how good it would have been until we actually lived it. So my take on AI, that we know we should live through it, experience its short, long-term benefits, and see how it affects us. Obviously, when it comes to tech leaders, CEOs, government, industries, everyone has their own take of AI. And maybe you come back a few years from now onto this TED Talk, you'll see how right or how wrong they were about the path AI is taking. Go to the next one, please. Yeah. So another question that arises is what jobs will AI replace? And as a student going into college, I've once considered taking a computer science major, but as it stands, AI basically replaces that job. And like me and many people in my age, we kind of get scared, like what are we gonna do? What are we gonna choose to do for college? And this brings me to my take on like jobs and AI. Like if it's in an office environment and it doesn't require direct human interaction, it is at a certain risk. To understand why I think like this, we understand the concept of vertical AI agents, which is essentially using the same computing power GPT has, but focusing it down to a more narrow or industry or skill set. Now, this obviously makes AI um, able to replace employees, and it's the employer's dream because it's a machine, so it will give efficient and instant responses. But now I want to like zoom out and talk about my experience of AI. That's the last one. So obviously the only reason I'm talking here on the stage right now is because of AI. Last weekend we were actually rehearsing this TED speech, and I was waiting a long time to actually speak. Once I speak, I was very proud of what I'd done. I go down these steps right here, and I talk to Mr. Barker, the organizer, and he's like, "We're gonna have to make these last-minute changes." That's when my heart dropped because how am I gonna get this done by Tuesday and still polish it and perfect it to be speaking to you guys right now? And like any students in 2025, I use ChatGPT to help me, not to do the work for me, but definitely supplement it. And that's the main takeaways I want to leave you guys with today: is the power it has to supplement. Um, and you guys might think I'm this advanced AI user, but I'm the average user. Back in 2022, 2023, I started using it as I saw my friends use it for school. And when it comes to AI and education, I don't really like how it's treated as something bad in school necessarily because it doesn't have the current ability to replace your learning. It can definitely supplement it, as we've seen with its use in workplaces. And additionally, we can even have creative uses of AI, such as better presenting content to users with disabilities such as ADHD or dyslexia. And these types of uses of AI is something I personally use with my educational projects. So instead of schools treating it as cheating necessarily, we should better be teaching students how to better use it, in maybe a more ethical manner. And I guess the message I want to leave you guys with today is that AI is this big revolving thing that has the potential to impact our personal, academic, and professional life. I guess to survive as pioneers of tomorrow, as it becomes a bigger part of our life, we embrace AI and not run away from it. And I hope that my personal experiences, sort of resonate with yours and better help you understand how to do this. Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.